Today, your presence is something that underscores passion and I would also say resolve in fueling India's business landscape. And today, as we honor these workplaces where I would like to say leadership inspires confidence, careers thrive with purpose, with innovation, and communities also flourish. A strong corporate culture, you all would agree, ladies and gents, isn't just the right thing, but it is also directly correlated to higher profitability and lower attrition at the same time. So it is that important. Our theme accentuates on people, purpose, and profitability possibility, ladies and gentlemen. With that, the CEO dialogue is next in order that will align the pragmatic business goals to lead with purpose, ladies and gentlemen.
What is future of work mean to you? How are you treating the entire growth story with purpose, value, and building culture? Kalpesh.
The youth of today is a very interesting generation. In fact, they are hyper, in terms of their knowledge, decision making. I think it's very interesting to work with them. It's a good learning also. So the way we deal with them is also has to be different in what we used to do 20 years ago. So the way you align to the future is with the youth and the technology. I think we are here to make the most of the most advantage out of it.
Alok, how important is leadership and what is the role of board in encouraging the culture of a very purpose-driven organization?
I think that's where the entire top-down approach is set on. Because end of the day, what you monitor gets delivered. At the board level, there are a lot of discussions nowadays which are on people matters. So are we really using the resource, which is a human resource, in a way that you get the best output? So we talk about morality, we talk about many stuff in our businesses. So a lot of this tone setting, if I can say, through the ethics committees or through the compliance committees, we have a separate section in our performance management on people, which the CRO has to update to the board on a quarterly basis of what's happening on the people side, whether it is talent building, where it is how you're acquiring people, what are your employee engagement scores. So I think that plays a lot of role in setting the tone. And then automatically it percolates down.
Pankaj, last but not least, what's the trade-off of purpose-driven organization? How do you balance growth and purpose?
There are businesses which have survived in India for more than 100 years, and Godrej is one of them, 128 years now in business. Brands and companies survive only when they believe in strong fundamentals, which are like principles, non-negotiables of not just purpose of being, but also the way we do and what we do.
Up next is a special address on the theme Break the Burnout Cycle, Why Employee Well-Being is Non-Negotiable by Professor D.K. Srivastava, Faculty of Organizational Behavior and HRM, IIM Mumbai. Let's take a look.
Since the theme is that let's break the burnout and create a condition in which people feel happy at the workplace and they should be happy in the house, both. Actually, this term was coined in 1974 by Friedenberger to describe a state of actually exhaustion while working. With the health professionals, he observed that there are individuals who feel quite exhausted. And then what will happen? Your output will come down. So if there is burnout, we must know first the reasons, correct? Some reasons are related to the organization. Then there are roles sometimes which are ambiguous. And if the roles are ambiguous, certain types of individuals feel discomfort. There are certain roles which are conflicting. Then we are all actually in search of condition where we can control things. In last 4 or 5 years, we have now seen a new term which is emerging in our life, toxic work environment. India is a country full of talent, and they are delivering, provided we can create conducive environment for them to work. So what do? We observe that there is burnout, and its consequences are well known. On some time, there is an effect on the health of the person, there is an effect on the team, And these things are continuing for a long time, definitely the organization also will suffer. So what do? Some intervention is must. So I observed that, okay, we can do intervention at 4 levels. If you see any organization, large or small, there are 4 key individuals. One is the CEO and the top management team. Second important person is the head of the HR. Third is the reporting manager. And fourth is the employee himself. Even now, I will say that very confidently and say that dialogue between the corporate office and the grassroots employee is very, very rare. So making policies and programs about employee well-being, like you decide your targets, okay, we'll grow at 10%, 8%, 12%, correct? Please include health of the employee as well. So communicating policies, programs, and creating a conducive work environment. And what you should say? Your well-being matters to us. In one line. Thank you very much.
Moving on, we have a panel discussion on beyond KRAs and KPIs, building a holistic employee experience. Let's take a look.
So we start with you, Mahesh. In one line, how would you define a holistic employee experience in your context?
So if I were to look at life beyond KRAs and KPIs at Rustomji, there are these 3 words which are very, very close to my heart. I call them experiences, I call them engagement, and I call them empowerment. And while I was driving today, I was thinking there is this 4th word which kind of encompasses all these 3. It's called the ecosystem. So if we are touching a chord with the ecosystem, I think we are much beyond KRAs and KPIs.
So how does People Analytics explain identifying culture gaps and talent opportunities?
I think data is power, right?
Okay.
But how you use data is even more important. A lot of people use data to justify and do postmortem. We have to move towards using data to predict and be able to take the decisions which hold for the future so that you are able to get better outcomes. What are the insights that you're taking away from there to make things different in the future? And specifically on the softer aspects of culture, voice of people, a lot of data exists which is difficult to capture, but if you get that, it will help you take the right decisions in the future, and that is where the real power of data lies.
So Akhilesh, over to you. How are you fostering emotional intelligence, empathy, and safety across different teams and leadership?
When you're operating in such environment, right, where trust is the key. So our employees have to understand, because they are the ones, they're facing the customer, they're facing the agents, they're facing the partners, right? Their understanding of customers' need, customer centricity is most important. So if we do not practice empathy, right, and the various things, I think it will not work out. So what we do is that first is the humanized approach of management and leadership. So we have put in very basic training for these people. We have to keep training our managers and our people. The second part is the space which we provide to our employees, right, which is a safe space, so they can express.
On that note, yes, we will reset the stage because it's going to be an in-conversation innings, ladies and gentlemen, that will talk about the future of agile human capital.
Can we talk a little bit about tech and the role of tech in helping you map potential versus pedigree?
Tech is something which is my strong belief, or as an organization, it's a great enabler. We have to use it to our advantage, but it's never a replacement to my human capital. In today's time, while we are adopting technology, we are not looking at it as an alternate to human capital. We want to add as much people as we can.
So how important is instinct and human judgment when it comes to assessing potential?
See, it is people work with people. So it is any organization today, whatever tech tools that we bring in, maybe the psychometric tests we involve today in the hiring process, but the human judgment plays the most vital role while identifying talent, nurturing talent, and actually giving them that comfort.
What would you say is the biggest blind spot in how most companies approach internal talent movement today?
See, the culture and the connect, these are extremely important, and it is top driven. Today, there can be multiple processes, there can be multiple plans for our employees, you can do offsites, you can do whatever, you can do multiple reward programs. But unless you are connected to your people and your leadership is taking responsibility of the team and they don't feel at home, no organization can grow. Individual employees are to be really taken care of.
Shivdat, how do you personally stay agile as a leader, especially in today's, shifting business landscape?
Everyone wants to take challenging jobs. People really don't want that they should feel that this is a job. So it is our responsibility today as employers or as organizations to give that environment to them. Agility, I haven't come across people when you throw a challenge to them, my employees, and particularly Gen Zs, they come with so many ideas, the millennials and Gen Zs. So your people are always full of ideas. We have to give them an opportunity and platform to take responsibilities.
To talk about and to shed light on rewriting India's work ethos for a new era, we are privileged to be joined by our honorable guest of honor. May I request you to please join me in very warmly welcoming her on the stage, IAS Resident Commissioner Secretary, Government of Maharashtra, Ms. Vimla R.
Namaskar. This is, of course, not just a room of achievers. It is somebody who wants to ensure that India is really moving forward. The future depends on what you do today, as rightly said by Mahatma Gandhi ji. And the future is being done and taken forward by you tonight. Today, when we look at Maharashtra, I can see the transformation. There is convergence at all levels, right from the state level to the Gram Panchayat. So every sphere you find that Maharashtra is showing that the government can be smart, fast, transparent, and of course people first, which is perhaps the most important thing in any organization. But tonight it's not only about governments, it's about you who has worked hard, performed, and waiting to receive that award, I think, getting felicitated, and feel the power of what you have contributed. So you're all trailblazers, you're all high performers who are here today. Success is not just about what you achieve, it is about what you inspire others also to do. There is a big hunger, a pride to do better and better. And so we are in it together to build a new India. This is not just a job only of the government. We have to work together, you and me, to take this forward. Each one of you will have to partner this transformation, because a rising tide lifts all boats. So as you rise, it is hopeful that all of you will lift the nation, lift the state together, and inspire the whole ecosystem. So I applaud you for your achievements, and I also wish you more success, more commitment to a larger goal. And let's carry this spirit of excellence back to our teams, back to our communities, back to our society, into every decision we make. Let's rewrite the way India works, because ultimately work is worship. The harder you work, the more heart you put into your work, the results would be transformational, and you can make this change in society. Thank you very much. Best wishes.
Before we do the big unveil, it's important to understand what went into the making. So for the research partner methodology to talk upon that, may I please request the Senior General Manager, International Business and Client Servicing, Median Research and Consulting, Lalit Batra, to please step forward.
I'll now provide a brief overview of the methodology used to shortlist the best organizations to work 2025. So overall, the scoring was done basis 3 steps: selection of parameters and assigning weightages, collection of data using secondary sources, rating an index score using parameter weights. So in step 1, following parameters and weightages were considered while doing the final scoring: POSH policy implementation, HR and talent development, implementation of DII practices, year-on-year growth rate, and social media imagery, etc. So in step 2, we gathered information from both primary and secondary sources. To apprise you on the Third step, the scoring process, each of the 10 parameters was evaluated against the predefined thresholds to determine the scores on a 5-point rating scale. So with that, I would like to conclude my presentation. Congratulations and best wishes to all the winners. Thank you.
May I once again take the pleasure of inviting our guest of honor, the distinguished Vimla R. IAS, Resident Commissioner, Secretary, Government of Maharashtra. Ma'am, to please step forward. Let's usher in your august presence, the Coffee Table book launch. A huge, enthusiastic round of applause, a big one, as we proudly showcase the best Organizations to Work 2025 Coffee Table book that will showcase the inspiring narratives we have uncovered. Thank you very much, ma'am. And on that note, I will request her to be our kind presenter and extend felicitations to the Best Organizations to Work 2025. Let's give it up for Satvik Green Energy.
South Indian Energy Limited's people philosophy is built on 3 pillars: clarity, respect, and opportunity. Beyond well-structured policies, we have worked hard to build a high-trust culture where information flows openly, teams takes ownership, and contributions are celebrated across the board. Whether it is employee-led initiatives, process innovations on the shop floor, or our structured recognition programs, we believe in listening actively and acting decisively, create a workplace where people feel valued every single day.
Next, Vishwasamudra Engineering. Congratulations.
The biggest challenge that we see today is, that Gen Zs have come into the job. So we are working with a new set of, really new generation, new set of people, youngsters to work with. And culture plays a very important role when we are building such large conglomerates and large organizations. And we strongly believe, and I often say that culture eats strategy for breakfast. So whatever strategies you make in the boardroom, whatever technologies you bring in, so everyone is talking about artificial intelligence today, machine learning today, but the business is always about people. So we try to fix people problems because you don't have business problems, you more have people problems. So we do that, and the adjustment to the new generation, I think, is the biggest challenge. Technology, yes, it accelerates the business to a great extent, but it can't really replace the human capital and the human resources, the immense potential that they bring into the business. I think that remains our focus. People will always remain to be our focus. Investments into them, investments into our talent, grooming them continuously, and getting the best out of them.
You got to flex your claps a little for you flex our next winner. All right, let's get kinetic with our applauses for Kimji Jewelers.
Our leadership philosophy is derived from our owners, Mitesh Kimji and Sumit Kimji. Number one is that team's dream leads to dream teams. So each of our colleagues, each of our department contributes, adds to the dream, and we motivate them to do that. Secondly is contribution of each of our employees adds to our successes. My job as a leader is to provide the platform for them to express themselves. And last but not the least, the leaders eat last, which means if there are successes, it's attributed to the individuals. If there are misses, if at all, then it's a joint onus where we sit down, we take positive feedback, do a course correction, and we take a joint success celebrations.
Good year, congratulations, you're up next.
The first thing we do is that we clarify the objectives for the company and for everyone working for the company, from everybody from the management down to the person on the shop floor. Secondly, we create the right environment to make those objectives come alive. So we have an environment of transparency, trust, and accountability. And the third thing is that we actually make people aware of their skills and competence, what the gaps are, and to train them so that they are able to deliver to their best to the objectives and in the environment that we've set for them.
Amdocs, that is up next.
We believe a great workplace is built on trust, respect, and a shared sense of purpose. At Amdocs, our people are at the heart of everything we do. We build our employee experience around 4 pillars: make an impact, grow your career, thrive through flexibility, and connect with people. They guide us how we show up for our employees every single day. We listen actively to our employees and invest heavily in learning programs, ensuring our people are continuously growing. Organizations that prioritize equal opportunity, meaningful growth paths, and a culture where individual feels valued will always lead the way. That's exactly what we strive to build every day at Amdocs.
Cadila Pharmaceuticals, you are next up.
See, any organization becomes an organization when people make them organize for a mutual goal, and you take care of all the requirements, give them environment, give them value addition for their better development, their needs, and take care of them and secure their growth professional as well as personal growth, as well as they should be treated as a part of the team. And once you navigate them to the right direction, I think they will definitely work for that.
Please give it up next for Raj Process Equipments and Systems. Congratulations.
Raj Process Equipment Systems Private Limited. I'm very much proud to be part of this organization, as this organization don't just craft the policies but truly lives in it. We don't just work on women empowerment, but also consider their development at all levels, not only the women part, but also on basic employees. We consider the development of the employees by giving training and mentorship. Raj Process is an organization who heavily invests in clean energy and biofuel sector. So I'm very much proud to be part of this organization who has given me a front seat in this drive for clean transition, energy transition.
This time it is for IIFL Finance.
We stand by our values of fairness, integrity, and trust, which we demonstrate in every transaction, activity, or process that we follow. That apart, we drive an owner's mindset, something which our founders live by, practice, and which is disseminated to the last employee. One of the rare practices that IIFL started was giving ESOPs to our frontline sales. So our frontline sales also get shares basis performance. Needless to say, that makes them an owner of the company, which we practice irrespective of. So that's what IIFL does.
Please welcome Trident Group on the stage.
Future of Indian workforce is very different from what we have seen in our lifetime. Today's generation, today's youth, today's Indian is tech savvy, is information rich, very ambitious, and wants to really make an impact in the society. In order to harness this talent, we have a very good program for our youth. We call it Takshila program, and we continue to harness youth and the way in which they see this changing world to build our future for our workforce in Trident.
SVC Cooperative Bank is up next.
Empathy, inclusivity, and positivity. These are the 3 big pillars of SVC culture, and we have created the embedded platform and structured platform for that. There's an open communication lines all across, and cross-functional trainings, open door policy, and regular town halls. These are the initiatives that we have taken, and we've been able to build a very, very inclusive, positive environment in the organization.
Please welcome Tata BlueScope Steel as your next recipient.
At Tata BlueScope, we believe in fostering the culture of empowerment through inculcating the sense of growth, innovation, and belongingness. At Tata BlueScope, we believe in empowerment. What do we mean by empowerment? We help our employees to take decisions, take accountability, and take the entire ownership of whatever responsibility is being given by the company. At Tata BlueScope, we believe in continuous learning. We encourage the culture of giving opportunities to make failures. We see failures as a stepping stone to success and thus believe in growth of the company.